In this we have the idea of the midpoint. The midpoint is a lot simpler than it seems, or it's pretty straightforward. You can just look at it and see the midpoint. The formula of the midpoint isn't really necessary. You're just taking the average of two numbers. So on the x-axis here, we already stated that 5 minus 1 would be 4, and then the midpoint of 4, or the average of 4, is 2. So 2 more than 1 is 3, and 2 less than 5 is 3. You're just taking from each one of the sides, the x side and the y side, the average of the distances on each axis. So if you were to go back to the bottom there, you have 5 and 1. That would average out to be 3. 6 divided by 2. And that's the midpoint looking from the perspective of the x-axis. But then if you're going ahead and looking from the perspective of the y-axis, it's 4 and 2. 4 and 2 is 6, divided by 2 is 3. So there also is the midpoint from the y-axis perspective. We can quickly look at the math on this. Like I said, 5 plus 1 is 6, divided by 2 is 3. You're just getting the average of the 2 points looking from the x perspective. And then looking from the y perspective, you have 4 and 2 also equals 6, and that midpoint is going to be 3. It's just coincidence in this case that they're both 3. It doesn't have to be. But of that straight line, its midpoint is 3, 3. Particularly simple. I know they say that there's a formula to it. It's good to know the formula, but it really is just the average of each perspective, and comes out to be fairly simple. This is the actual midpoint formula right here, written in the red. You take the x2 plus x1, add those together, divide by 2, get your x value. Your y2 plus your y1, add those together, divide by 2, you get your y value. That's the technical, formal definition of the midpoint formula. But it really is just looking at it from the right perspective both ways, and it's a lot quicker than actually you can plug it in. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but if you can just automatically see it, that 6 plus 1, the average of that, or the middle point of 6 and 1 is 3, because you're going in two amounts in each direction. From 3 plus 2, from 3 minus 2, 3 has to be your midpoint. And then if you look at the 4 and the 2, you're seeing your midpoint, and you're 1 away from each. 3 plus 1 is 4, 3 minus 1 is 2. If you look at it like that, it's a lot faster and simpler.